Okay, is this it? I hope this is it. Alright, so here it is, guys. You know what time it is. So 3 months in to my jet journey, I made a video reviewing the first 3 months, and it's been another 3 months. So now I'm going to do a 6th-month review. This video is going to be less general and more about my individual experience. Because, at first it was kind of just like the logistical stuff, some of it about moving, and kind of stuff everyone deals with, the transitioning from like back home to Japan and, having predecessors and all that. So this time, I guess I want to talk about what I like and don't like about living here. So maybe this isn't completely just the JET program, but also related to life in Japan and that kind of stuff. Some of it does pertain to the job, of course. So I guess this is going to kind of be a life review for the past 6 months and how things are going and how I'm feeling. So I want to talk about the good things and some bad things, just kind of recap the things that I've been thinking about and considering these past 6 months. So first I want to talk about some bad things. And keep in mind that none of this is so bad to where I feel like I regret it. Like, life is pretty good here. There are things that I don't like, obviously, but nothing huge. And so I'm just going to go ahead and say these things are annoying. Okay, everything that I'm about to say isn't necessarily bad. It's just stuff that annoys me. It's just, some of it's small, but it's just like, come on, dude. So one thing is, some public bathrooms don't have soap. And a lot of the times they won't have like paper towel or hand dryers, because a lot of people in Japan carry little handkerchiefs. But I'm like, not to have soap though. Another thing is, I live in Akita and it's pretty cold here. And why isn't there insulation in the buildings? Like, really? I mean, it gets, like, first of all, there's no central heating. And so it already takes a while for your place to heat up. And then once it heats up, if you turn the heater off, it gets cold in like 5 or 10 minutes. And then because of that, my gas bill is so expensive. Like, I get it. Japan might not have a lot of natural gas and they import all that. But like, seriously, the fact that I'm like a single dude living in a small apartment and my gas bill is $120, like, come on, that's so annoying. Ugh. But it's like, come on, dude, get with the times. I'm pretty sure a lot of places in Hokkaido have insulation. And it's not just my apartment, man. It's like, you go to the schools, the hallways are freezing. And some of the classrooms are actually pretty cold too. I mean, they'll have like a heater, but like they only keep the classrooms at 20 degrees. So the heater's on for like 5 minutes and then it shuts off for 5 minutes and it's on. And so it's like, if you're by the door, it gets really cold. And I feel bad for the kids, man. They got like hand warmers in their pockets and stuff. It's like, and they're wondering why everyone's getting sick, man. You gotta stay warm and wash your hands with soap. Another thing is, on the topic of Akita, aka one of the Inaka spots in Japan, things can get pretty boring here. Like, I felt like I did 90% of what there is to do in this prefecture in a week. Now, we do have pretty cool festivals and stuff, and I'm actually planning on going to some winter festivals this weekend. But like, that stuff you can only do at certain days of the year. So I'm talking about like, if you come here and you want to like see the prefecture, there's like 4 things that you can see. And I saw like 3 of them in one weekend. You gotta have good friends around here. You just gotta have good friends. Dude, I miss my cats. Like, this is small, but I miss, here, I'm gonna show you a picture. Look how cute they are. Super cute. Slayer and Moses, my 2 boys. I had them since they were 4 weeks old. Man, I miss those cats. Anyways, sending money back. Like, sending money back home is annoying. A couple reasons. One, it costs money to send money back, right? So I use TransferWise, and that's actually relatively cheap, but it costs money, it takes time, it's kind of a pain in the butt to set up. I had a buddy of mine help me, I'm grateful for that. Once you get it set up, it's not too bad, but it's just like constantly having to send money back every month to pay my loans. It's just like, it's just annoying. Another thing is, dating is a challenge. Now, that can mean a couple things. On the one sense, it's hard to date Japanese people, I feel like, because it's hard, I think, to find someone who's going to be serious with you here. Even if you speak good Japanese and all that, there's a lot of cultural barriers, and not just like with a Japanese person, but like living internationally, like living somewhere where you don't like plan on staying for the rest of your life, is hard, because if you meet someone, somewhat quickly you have to have that conversation of, okay, where are we going to live? Like, where are we going to start a family? I met this really, really awesome, amazing girl in the Philippines. Don't know where that's going to go yet. We live in separate countries, and if things ever do get serious, like, we have to talk about that stuff. So you know, having a love life is pretty challenging. I suppose it's really easy, on the other hand, to have like a more casual relationship where it's not very serious. But personally, I'm not interested in any of that. So for me, my love life is a bit more challenging out here. And then, you know, on a bit more of a serious note, the job itself, on the JET program, so being an ALT, is not very fulfilling to me. There's times when I just feel like sometimes I don't do much in class. I mean, it's weird. Like some days I'm busy and I do a lot, and I feel like I'm really leading the class, and like the students are really into it. And some days you get those like dead classes that are just like, ugh. You know, it's hard to get them into English, and it's hard to have a decent hour in class when you have students like that. So you got to kind of take the good with the bad. Overall, I would say the job isn't very fulfilling. I would rather be T1 rather than T2. I'd rather be busier and have more work, but kind of get to decide my own lesson plans and like what I want to teach and how I want to teach it. I'd rather have that responsibility with the freedom that comes with it and the workload than kind of be a T2 and just kind of go along with my T1. Now that does have some advantages, which we'll talk about a little later. I enjoy some days. I wouldn't say that I love my job. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say that I love it. I enjoy life here a lot more than the job itself. You know, and then of course, like I do miss some friends and family from home. I talk to my twin brother every week, but that being said, like I haven't seen the guy in 6 months, and yeah, it's been it feels like weird not seeing him in so long. And my dad and my mom, my mom lived in a separate state anyway, so I didn't really see her. And to be honest, I can go with seeing my mom once a year and be perfectly okay. Like if you know my mom, you spend like 12 hours in a week with her, and you'd be like, okay, see you next year, love you. But yeah, I really do miss a lot of my friends. I had a really tight group of friends. And then there's also, I don't know if anyone else feels like this in the JET program, kind of maybe you've talked about it with some people, but there's like this sense that your life is kind of on hold like for a little bit. Especially like when you live internationally, you're not sure if you're gonna stay here. Am I gonna go back to the States? If I do go back to the States, what if I get a job in another state? What about looking into other countries? Not knowing kind of where you want to put down roots, it can feel like you're just a drifter. Maybe some people don't deal with that, but you know, being someone who felt really close in my my group, my circle back in the States, it's kind of hard to like just jump and be away from that. I actually don't struggle with loneliness as much as I really thought I would. I actually struggled with being alone and feeling the need to constantly socialize when I was back in the States more than now. So I have grown a lot in that area. But there's kind of this sense where it's like, oh, instead of paying rent, I could be paying off a house right now. So those are some of the things that I find annoying. Again, nothing too crazy, but now let's go with some of the things that I really love about here. So first of all, I love like life in Japan in general. Being able to use what I studied in college every day is such a blessing. Even though that's not really what I get paid for. I get paid to teach English. But like being able to like go to the store and like have a conversation with someone in Japanese and make Japanese friends, it's like, that's a great feeling. I've met like so many awesome people, not only Japanese people, but a lot of other ALTs. We have a pretty good group here, and I'm pretty close with my coworkers. I'm really grateful for that. It's been just a blessing to be able to spend time with people. You know, I found that kind of being out of your comfort zone, it kind of forces you to grow in a lot of ways. So I've been able to make a lot of connections with people that I don't know if I'd be able to make. You know, and also my Japanese is getting a lot better. Now, needless to say, your Japanese will automatically improve if you come here like the first 6 months. But I'd say around this point is when you'll plateau. You'll kind of learn what you need to, and if you don't want to learn more, you'll just stop. So I'm actively fighting against that. I'm going to make a video in a couple weeks here, hopefully, about my study methods. Right now I'm studying for the JLPT N2, and I feel like my methods are working really well. I've been seeing a lot of progress, slowly but surely. But yeah, as far as this conversation and like my kanji reading ability, you know, when you link up the purpose of why you study Japanese with living here, and you get this beautiful synthesis, you know, a lot of times you just mess up and it's just like embarrassing and it sucks, and you know, language barriers suck sometimes. But that being said, there's something rewarding about living here. To go along with having the T2 position at the job as an ALT, the good side of that is I get to study a lot at work. I'll pull up my N2 Dokai book and I'm just like, bam, I'm on it, and like time goes by so fast because I'm like so into it and I'm studying. It is nice to kind of feel like you get paid to like study. The other thing is, maybe this is because I'm in the Inaka, but my bills are pretty low. Rent out here is pretty cheap. Well, my income obviously it's not phenomenal. Actually, I would have made more, I think, if I stayed back home and worked for the company that I was interning for. But I think my bills are a lot lower here than they would be back home. Especially if I was going to live on my own. One thing for sure is car insurance. Well, first of all, I'm from Michigan and Detroit, where car insurance is just absolutely horrible. Like, it's robbery. All of you from Michigan that are watching, my car insurance here is $200 a year. So go ahead and do the math and let me know how much less I'm paying than you. It's not like I'm rich here, but I've got some breathing room. And another thing is you get a lot more opportunities to travel when you're already living abroad. You know, especially when living in Japan, you can go all around Asia. So I've been to the Philippines and I'm going to Taiwan soon. Just seeing so many different cultures, meeting just a wide variety of people, it's just been such a blessing, and I've grown so much as a person. You know, just living abroad has been something that, has its challenges, but there's some lessons I've learned from living overseas and living in Japan that I don't think I could learn if I stayed home and never moved here. So, you know, even if you're not into Japanese or anything like that, maybe if for nothing else, come for that personal growth. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Maybe you're a jet right now living in Japan, but maybe you just had an interview last week and you're kind of thinking about what life would be like here. So I hope this video helps you. I hope it answers some questions. If not, feel free to post a comment. Anyways, yeah, take it easy, guys. Talk to you soon.